Hey, what's up, guys? Nathan here, just out taking a hike, and I wanted to take a little break and share a few thoughts that I was having with you. I, one thing I love about going on hikes and walking is it's such a great way to clear your mind and just really get the gears of your brain turning. But I want to talk to you guys today about your beliefs. And do you ever question your beliefs or your convictions? I was reading a book this morning, and in the book, they mentioned Copernicus. Copernicus is the father of astronomy, the study of the stars, planets, and he was a very smart guy, and he was educated in, as a doctor, as a lawyer. He actually didn't become an astronomer until like a little bit later in life, like his 30s, I think. But the current belief of his day was that the Earth was the center of the universe. And that was put forward by the church. And back then, you didn't want to question the church. They did some pretty mean things to you if you went against their beliefs. But Copernicus was taught one thing, but he questioned it just through the power of observation. And he didn't even have a telescope back then. This is the 1500s. He was just a really smart guy. He was really good at math, and he was able to figure out that the Earth revolves around the sun. And he was ridiculed, and a lot of people in his day thought he was a lunatic, thought he was kind of an idiot. But he was, now we know what he came up with is true. And 50, 60, 70 years later, Galileo came along, was saying the same thing, and the church actually put him under house arrest for his beliefs, and because they didn't want him spreading his beliefs. And the consequences then were very different for going against the modern day beliefs of the time. Today you can pretty much believe anything, at least in this country, and they won't lock you up for it or put you under house arrest. But it still goes on. If you fast forward a couple hundred years to Einstein, in the early 1900s, he came up with some beliefs of his own that went against modern convention. He kind of came up with a lot of the basis, the theory, the whole theory behind quantum physics. And a lot of his contemporaries ridiculed him. Einstein was a Jew living in Germany, and he was ostracized. And a lot of people, said Einstein was crazy. And Einstein wasn't able to prove his stuff either. He came up with most of his ideas just using math and thinking. And since we've been able to experimentally prove a lot of what Einstein said, but once again, we have somebody going against the modern convention. He kind of went up against the physics of the time, when Einstein was going a couple levels deeper than physics. But what's my point? Today there are beliefs that will be disproven, and I think if you go throughout history, or if you go forward in time, as long as there are humans on this earth, there will be beliefs that are dispelled, disproven. So let me ask you, what are your beliefs? What are your convictions? I don't know if you guys have heard the quote or not, but Nietzsche said, convictions are greater enemies of truth than lies. So be careful what your convictions are. Maybe you were raised to believe that to always vote Democrat. And I'm not trying to get political here, but, or maybe Republican. But don't be afraid to question what you've been taught, what you read, and always be open to new ideas. And let me know below. Give me a comment below. Let me know which long-held beliefs you have that maybe you want to start to question. So it's actually it's Memorial Day weekend. The trails there's like a ton of people out here. walking around. I actually wasn't even thinking what day it was, and all of a sudden I'm just like, why are all these people here? And then I realized it's Memorial Day weekend. So I hope you guys are having or had a great Memorial Day, and I will see you on the next one.